You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? It can improve your vehicle's fuel consumption. It can increase the level of exhaust emissions. It can make the road slippery for other road users. It can make the engine difficult to start.
Salam. Alhamdulillah. كيف أنت أخي? You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? Wa alaikum salam. CD. YDSZ. It's not D. It can make the road slippery for other road users.
You're driving in a built-up area that has traffic calming measures. What should you do when you approach a road hump? Move across to the left-hand side of the road. Stop and check both pavements. Wait for any pedestrians to cross. Check your mirror and slow down.
You're driving in a built-up area that has traffic calming measures. What should you do when you approach a road hump? When you approach a road hump, you should slow down. And before you slow down, you should check your surrounding. And how would you check your surrounding? Through your mirrors. So check your mirrors and then slow down.
Where would you see this sign? At a playground entrance. At a pedestrians only area. On a school bus. Near a school crossing.
Where would you see this sign? On the back of a school bus, or on the rear of a school bus. So on a school bus.
You're driving along a country road. You see this sign. What should you do after dealing safely with the hazard? Test your brakes. Check your tire pressures. Accelerate briskly. Switch on your hazard warning lights.
Hello. Salam. Welcome to everyone. You're driving along a country road. You see this sign. What should you do after dealing safely with the hazard? And what's this hazard? Water across the road. And when you go through water, how should you drive through water? Slow in a lower gear, and you should drive slowly. And when you go through water, your brakes will be wet. And what should you do? You should test your brakes. Why? Because it will be wet.
What's the main hazard the driver of the red car, arrowed, should be aware of? Glare from the sun may affect the driver's vision. The black car may stop suddenly. The bus may move out into the road. Oncoming vehicles will assume the driver is turning right.
Oh, it's Rahman, congrats. Well done. What's the main hazard the driver of the red car arrowed should be aware of? If you look at the bus already moved into the road. So the bus is the hazard. The bus may move out into the road. The bus may move out into the road.
How can you plan your route before starting a long journey? Use a route planner on the internet. Check your vehicle handbook. Consult a travel agent. Ask your local garage.
How can you plan your route before starting a long journey? You're most welcome. Use a route planner on the internet. What's the route planner? You know the maps that we use in the phone. That's a route planner. So you should use a route planner on the internet.
The road is wet. Why would a motorcyclist steer around drain covers while they were cornering? To avoid splashing pedestrians on the pavement. To avoid puncturing the tires on the edge of the drain covers. To help judge the bend using the drain covers as marker points. To prevent the motorcycle sliding on the metal drain covers.
The road is wet. Why would a motorcyclist steer around drain covers while they were cornering? Why? Because when drain covers gets wet, it becomes very slippery for the motorcyclist, and that's why they will avoid going over it when they're cornering. So the answer would be to prevent the motorcycle sliding on the metal drain covers, because when it gets wet it becomes very slippery for motorcyclist.
Why is the caravan unstable and swinging from side to side? Because the other cars are passing too close to it. Because it's in the wrong lane. Because of side winds. Because there are traffic cones on the road.
Why is the caravan unstable and swinging from side to side? If you look at the caravan, why is it swinging from side to side? So if you look at the trees, it's moving, so it's very windy. And also there is a side wind sign. You see on the left in here, you can see the side wind sign. So because of side winds.
What will be affected if the road surface becomes soft in very hot weather? The fuel consumption. The suspension. The exhaust emissions. The tire grip.
What will be affected if the road surface becomes soft in very hot weather? It will affect the tire grip. When the road gets soft in hot weather, and that would affect the grip of the tires. Osman, well done. Congratulations. So the tire grip.
You're parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? When you're facing oncoming traffic. When there are continuous white lines in the middle of the road. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. When you're near a bus stop.
You are parked on the road at night. When must you use parking lights? 21 ago hazard videos in my YouTube channel. You can watch it there. Bruno, that's a wrong answer. When the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. So if for example, if you got 40 miles per hour road outside your house, and if you want to park your vehicle at night outside your house, what do? You have to leave the parking lights switched on. Why? So other drivers could see your vehicle from far. Because the speed limit is so high, if you don't leave it on, they will not be able to see your vehicle. Because the speed is so high, that's why you should leave it on, so they could see your vehicle from far. And there is another situation where you have to leave your parking light switched on. That's when it's foggy. When it's foggy and you want to leave parking your vehicle, you should leave parking lights on. And also, when you're parking at night and the speed limit is more than 30 miles, you should leave your parking light switched on as well. Made. Okay, so when the speed limit exceeds 30 miles per hour. Wale.
You're behind this cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? Allow the cyclist time and room. Try to move off before the cyclist. Tap your horn and drive through first. Turn right but give the cyclist room.
You're behind the cyclist. When the traffic lights change, what should you do? Allow the cyclist time and room. Allow the cyclist time and room.
You've stopped at a railway level crossing. What should you do if the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by? Wait. Proceed with caution. Phone the signal operator. Alert drivers behind you.
You're stopped at a railway level crossing. What should you do if the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by? You should wait. Why should you wait? Because another train is coming. You should wait because another train is coming. Guys, if you find any answer difficult, or if you don't understand, try to find the reason behind the answer. So for example, the answer is wait. If a question arises, why would you wait? You're waiting because another train is coming. Guys, could you please everyone just share the live once? We only got 2 shares. Could you just please everyone share the live once? And if you did not follow me, please do follow, guys.
Your vehicle is stationary. When may you use its horn? When the road is blocked by queuing traffic. When it's used only briefly. When another road user poses a danger. When signaling that you've just arrived.
When your vehicle is stationary, stationary means you stopped somewhere, you parked up somewhere. When may you use its horn? When another road user poses a danger. Guys, do you understand what it means when another road user poses a danger? So for example, you're sitting in your car, you parked up somewhere, and there is a vehicle start to reverse towards you. So if there is a vehicle in front of you, start to reverse towards you. Obviously, if you don't use your horn or don't flash your light, if you don't let him know, he will hit you. So that's why you use your horn, to let him know that you are there, or to make him aware of your presence. So when another road user poses a danger, and you're using your horn to let him know.
How will a roof rack affect your car? Fuel consumption will increase. The car will accelerate faster. There will be less wind noise. The engine will use more oil.
How will a roof rack affect your car? See, this question got 4 answers. Coach, that's a wrong answer. How will a roof rack affect your car? This question got 4 answers. One is fuel consumption will increase. Does anyone know any other answer for this question? So one is, how will load on the roof rack. So load on the roof rack, A is correct. But if you got load on the roof rack, there will be 4 answers for that question. One is your fuel consumption will increase. Second, your stopping distance will increase. Third, it will affect your stability, vehicle's handling. Number 4, it will affect your tires as well if you're carrying a heavy load on the roof rack. So how will a roof rack affect your car? The answer will be fuel consumption will increase. Guys, do you know why fuel consumption will increase? How will a roof rack affect your car? Fuel consumption will increase. Does anyone know why fuel consumption will increase? Because of the wind resistance. Because of the wind resistance. So you know when you're driving, the wind resistance will increase because of the roof rack. See, the roof rack will block the wind, and that put pressure on your vehicle, and that's why your vehicle will work harder to move forward, and that's why it will use more fuel, because of the increasing wind resistance. Laser, does that make sense? Because of the wind resistance increase. How will a roof rack affect your car? Fuel consumption will increase.
What does it mean when a moving vehicle is showing a flashing amber beacon? The vehicle is a doctor's car. The vehicle is slow moving. The vehicle has broken down. The vehicle belongs to a school crossing patrol.
What does it mean when a moving vehicle is showing a flashing amber beacon? Flashing amber beacon. Riyab, Dr. Car is Bahar. That's a wrong answer. Dr. Car will have green. Okay, Dr. Car is green. Dr. Car is green, guys. Okay, that's green. Slow moving vehicle will have flashing amber beacon, and all the emergency services will have blue flashing beacon. So slow moving is flashing amber.
When may you stop on an urban clearway? To load or unload goods. To ask for directions. To set down and pick up passengers. To use a mobile telephone.
When may you stop on an urban clearway? When may you stop on an urban clearway? To sit down and pick up passengers. To sit down and pick up passengers.
What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? To separate lanes of traffic. To allow pedestrians to cross. To reduce traffic speed. To increase traffic speed.
Urban, Marvis, urban means area around the city. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes and narrowings? So why do we have road humps? To reduce traffic speed. To reduce traffic speed.
What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? £500, £5,000, £1,000. Unlimited.
What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? Okay, it's unlimited. Do you know why it's unlimited? So when you're driving without insurance, you don't get just fine money wise, you get penalty points as well. You just don't get fine money wise, you get penalty points as well. Unlimited. Man, it's only car.
You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? Before a junction. On a steep gradient. Along the hard shoulder. Before a service area.
You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? On a steep gradient. On a steep gradient. And guys, do you know why do we have crawler lane? What's the reason for crawler lanes on the motorway? It's for slow moving vehicle. It's for slow moving vehicle. It is. So Marvis, you don't know this. It's for slow moving vehicle. Okay, 1 second guys, let me just explain this. If you look in here, you see on the right we have 2 lanes, and when the road is going up we have 3 lanes. See this extra lane, this is called climbing or crawler lane, and it is for slow moving vehicle. It's for heavy vehicle or slow moving vehicle. And the reason for this extra lane is so the traffic, because you know when slow moving vehicle, if they were traveling in these other lanes, that will block their way. That's why there is an extra lane on the left, so these heavy vehicle can travel in this lane, and the rest of the traffic could use the other 2 lanes. Okay, on a steep gradient. Mirror, probably maybe within a week.
Which sign means no motor vehicles allowed?
Which sign means no motor vehicles allowed? Okay, so number 1, that's no motor vehicles. Number 2, no overtaking. Number 3, no cars allowed. Number 4, no pedestrians. Nasir, that's no cars. This is no cars. This is no motor vehicles. Number 1 is no motor vehicle. Number 3 is no cars.
An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there's no further danger. What could you do to help? Move the person off the road. Remove their safety helmet. Seek medical assistance. Remove their leather jacket.
An injured motorcyclist is lying unconscious in the road. The traffic has stopped and there is no further danger. What could you do to help? seek medical assistance. Seek medical assistance, basically call the ambulance. You see, move the person off the road. You should not move the person off the road. Why? Because the traffic has stopped. So if the traffic has stopped, there is no danger for him. That's why you should never move him. Why? Because he's injured, and when someone is injured, you should not touch him, because that could worsen their injuries. So just what do? Seek medical assistance, which is call the ambulance.
At traffic lights, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? Go if no pedestrians are crossing. Go if the way is clear. Stop at the stop line. Prepare to go.
At the traffic light, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? Stop. Samir, you cannot go. You don't prepare to go. You stop at the stop line. You stop at the stop line. After amber, it changes to red. After amber, it changes to red. So that's why you should stop at the stop line. Guys, if you learn the sequence of the traffic lights, then the answer become easier. After amber light, it changes to red. So you have to stop. So stop at the stop line.
What do the white diagonal stripe markings in the middle of the road mean? It's an overtaking area for motorcyclists. You must not enter the area unless it's an emergency. You should not enter the area unless it's necessary and you can see it's safe. No overtaking.
What do the white diagonal stripe markings in the middle of the road mean? Okay. If you look in here, okay, never skip the word, never skip the workup. If you look in here, it's white. If these were red, you see, if this was red, then the answer would have been you must not enter the area unless it's an emergency. Then that would have been the right answer. But because it's white lines, let me just start the video again. Because it's white, that's why you can enter even in necessity. Okay, if you look in here, it's white. So that's why number 3 is the right answer. If these were red, see, if instead of white, this area was red, then the right answer would have been you must not enter the area unless it's in an emergency. But because it's white, you can enter if it's necessary. Guys, did you get that? So if you look in here, if this was red, if these diagonal stripe marking were red, then the answer would have been you must not enter the area unless it's in an emergency. Okay, so the answer is you should not enter the area unless it's necessary and you can see it's safe. Guys, try to learn it like this. You should know this answer as well. When this answer could have been the right answer when the area was red, because when you go to test, they can change it.
When are you allowed to stop on a motorway? When you need to use a mobile telephone. When you wish to pick up hitchhikers. When you need to walk and get fresh air. When you're signaled to do so by traffic signals.
Oh, congrats, Amina, well done. When are you allowed to stop on a motorway? The answer is when you're signaled to do so by traffic signals. Guys, do you understand what it means when you are signaled to do so by traffic signals? When you are signaled to do so by traffic signals. When there is a cross on top of every lane. So if there is cross on all the lanes, what will you do? So if it's cross on all the lanes, what would that mean? Then you must stop, isn't it? So there is cross on on top of each lane. That's what it means when you're signaled to do so by traffic signals.
What should you do when you're overtaking a horse and rider? Flash your headlights as a warning. Sound your horn as a warning. Go past as quickly as possible. Go past slowly and carefully.
What should you do when you're overtaking a horse and rider? Go past slowly and carefully. Go past slowly and carefully.
You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? Allow plenty of time for the trip. Plan to travel at busy times. Prevent other drivers from overtaking. Avoid roads with the national speed limit.
You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? Should allow more time. Allow plenty of time for the trip. Allow plenty of time for the trip.
If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? Anti-lock brakes. A collapsible steering wheel. A properly adjusted head restraint. An air-sprung seat.
If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? A properly adjusted head restraint. What does a properly adjusted head restraint mean? How should you properly adjust head restraint? How would you properly adjust head restraint? Does anyone know the answer? No? See, that question comes in the test, which is at least as high as, wait, let me just show you the answer. Where is it? Not this one. See, that's the question. See, where should the head restraint be positioned for it to be most effective? And the answer is at least as high as the eyes or top of the ears. At least as high as the eyes or top of the ears. See the second option. That's the right answer, guys. If you don't have this question, just take a screenshot so you know. The second option is the right answer. At least as high as the eyes or top of the ears. Okay. If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? A properly adjusted head restraint.
You're driving at night with your headlights on main beam. A vehicle is overtaking you. When should you dip your headlights? As soon as the vehicle passes you. Some time after the vehicle has passed you. Only if the other driver dips their headlights. Before the vehicle starts to pass you.
You're driving at night with your headlights on main beam. A vehicle is overtaking you. When should you dip your headlights? Adwo Ford. Guys, who don't understand this answer? See why this is the wrong answer, why this is the right answer. Okay. So when a vehicle is overtaking you, when should you dip your headlights? When a vehicle is overtaking you, when should you dip your headlights? Okay, so if this is your vehicle, you're driving and your lights are on full beam. If your lights are on full beam, one second guys, just a second. Okay. When your lights are on full beam, when do you change it from full beam to normal dipped headlights? When do you change it? Before means when the vehicle is just overtaking you. That's where the other vehicle. If the other vehicle is here, that's mean before it starts to overtake you. You don't need to change it. When your lights are on full beam, if the other vehicle starts to overtake you, you don't change your lights from main beam to dipped headlights. When do you change it? When the other vehicle comes next to you like this. So if this is your vehicle and the other vehicle is here, as soon as they start to overtake you, that's when you dip it. See, so as soon as they overtaking you, that's when you change it from a main beam to dipped headlights. Guys, did you get that? So if this is your vehicle and that's the other vehicle, so if the other vehicle is here, if they start to overtake you, you don't change it. And when it comes next to you like this, you see, if that's the other vehicle, and as soon as they're overtaking you, that's when you change it from full beam to dipped headlights. And the reason is because when they overtake you, if you don't change it from main beam to dipped headlights, do you know what happens? Your lights will dazzle their eyes. Your lights, the lights of your car, it will dazzle their eyes when it's in main beam or full beam. That's why this is the wrong answer, because you don't need to change it before the vehicle starts to pass you. You only change it as soon as the vehicle passes you. Guys, did you get the difference between these two? Yeah, well done.
How should you signal if you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left after you leave the roundabout and enter the new road. Signal right on the approach to the roundabout and keep the signal on. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you're going to take. Signal right on the approach and then left to leave the roundabout.
How should you signal if you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Guys, this is one of the most common question that comes in the test. This is one of the most common question. Signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you are going to take. And there is another answer for this question. Does anyone know any other answer for this question? That's signal left before leaving the roundabout. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. That's the other answer. Okay, so one is signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you are going to take, or signal left before leaving the roundabout.
What color are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? Green, white, amber, red.
What color are the reflective studs between the motorway and slip road? That's slip road is always green. Remember guys, slip road, entrance, exit, and acceleration lane. If in the question they ask you about acceleration lane, or if they ask you about exit, if they ask you about entrance, or if they ask you about slip road, so if they bring any of these four names, the answer will be green. Entrance, exit, slip road, acceleration lane. The answer will be green. No, it's not C. Amber is on the right side, okay? Amber is on the right hand side. Slip road is green. Guys, if anyone find this hard, I got a video in my YouTube channel. Please watch it and you will never get it wrong. There is a video in my YouTube account. Please watch if you don't understand the studs. It will really help you.
You're driving on a motorway. What does it mean if the car in front shows its hazard warning lights for a short time? The other car is going to change lanes. The driver wants you to overtake. Traffic ahead is slowing or stopping suddenly. There's a police speed check ahead.
Sandra, link is in the bio. Link is in the bio. Or its same name as my TikTok. You're driving on a motorway. What does it mean if the car in front shows its hazard warning lights for a short term? Yeah, so the traffic ahead is slowing or stopping suddenly. Traffic ahead is slowing or stopping suddenly.
What must you do if your ability to drive is impaired during a period of illness? Take all your medicines with you when you drive. See your doctor each time before you drive. Stop driving until you're fit to drive again. Take smaller doses of any medicines.
What must you do if your ability to drive is impaired during a period of illness? You don't drive. Do not drive until you're fit to drive again. So stop driving until you're fit to drive again.
Where would you see this sign? At the side of the road. On the rear of a school bus or coach. At playground areas. In the window of a car taking children to school.
Where would you see this sign? Yeah. Rear means back. So at the back of a school bus or coach. At the back of a school bus or coach.
Why should you be cautious when going past this bus waiting at a bus stop? There's a zebra crossing ahead. There are driveways on the left. The road surface will be slippery. People may cross the road in front of it.
Why should you be cautious when going past this bus waiting at a bus stop? Why? Yep. People may cross the road in front of you. You see, when a bus is stopped, people will be running towards the bus, and obviously people will be coming out of the bus, so you have to be careful with them. People may cross the road in front of it.
What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? Change gear and pump the brake pedal. Have the brakes checked as soon as possible. Increase the pressure in your tires. Use your parking brake at the same time.
What should you do if your vehicle pulls to one side when you use the brakes? There is something wrong with the brakes, so have the brakes checked as soon as possible.
How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed. Overtake them as soon as possible.
How should you react to inexperienced drivers? You have to be very patient. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly.
What's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? Lower fuel consumption. Shorter stopping distances. Improved passenger comfort. Improved grip on the road.
What's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? Guys, do you know what this four-wheel drive vehicle means? Can anyone explain what's four-wheel drive vehicle? You have improved grip on the road. But what does it mean? Can anyone explain it? 4x4, exactly, it's 4x4. Every tire can roll on its own. Every tire roll with the engine. So the engine is controlling all the wheels. It's like this. So if you look at the first one, so the engine is only turning these front two wheels, and the front two wheels are turning and they're dragging. You see, these are free. Like these are dead wheels. See, the engine is not turning these. So when these are turning, they're dragging these back wheels with it. These are not connected with the engine. See, the engine is only turning these wheels. So this is front wheel drive. This is front wheel drive. And this is rear wheel drive. So the engine is only turning these two wheels. The engine is only turning these wheels, and these two wheels are dead. So these wheels are pushing the front wheels. And this one is four-wheel drive. This is four-wheel drive. So the engine is running all the wheels. See, all the wheels are alive. So this is called four-wheel drive. When the engine is turning all the wheels together, you have more grip on the road or more control on the road. Does that make sense? That's what four-wheel drive is called. Most of the Jeep that people use on mountains, they are four-wheel drives. Okay. So what's the main benefit of driving a four-wheel drive vehicle? Improved grip on the road.
On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? On the exhaust system. On the cooling system. In the air filter. In the fuel tank.
On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? Guys, do you know what is catalytic converter? Do you know what does catalytic converter means? Catalytic converter is a filter. It's a filter. It's a filter. You see. So you see this, that's the engine of the vehicle. When the engine burns petrol and diesel, it makes hazardous smoke. It makes hazardous smokes, and these are all part of exhaust system. So when the engine burns petrol and diesel, it makes hazardous gases, and this is a catalytic converter. What does catalytic converter do? It filters the hazardous gases. It filters the hazardous gases before it comes out. It cleans it basically. So catalytic converter is basically a filter that cleans the smoke before it comes out of the vehicle. And where do we find it? It's part of the exhaust system. So on a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? On the exhaust system. On the exhaust system.
Why has the tractor got flashing amber lights? To warn you it has a wide load. To warn you it's breaking down. To warn you it's a slow-moving vehicle. To tell you not to overtake.
Why has the tractor got flashing amber light? All the slow-moving vehicle will have a flashing amber light. To warn you it's a slow-moving vehicle. To warn you it's a slow-moving vehicle.
Which type of vehicle does this sign apply to? Heavy vehicles. Long vehicles. High vehicles. Wide vehicles.
What type of vehicle does this sign apply to? Okay, this is for high vehicle, and you see these two marks. You see this mark and this one. If these were on the right and left side, then what would that mean? So you see this is on top and bottom. یکی از طرف راست و طرف چپ می باشه چی معنا داره؟ If these were on the right and left side, what would that mean? These are top and bottom. If these were on the right and left, then which one would it be in the right answer? Would it be not long? No. Look guys, let me just show you the. So if these were on the right and left, okay, so if these were like this, then that would have been wide vehicle. Okay, this is for the height and this is for the width. Wide, this is wide and this is height. So height and width. Just look at these two marks. Okay, so if it's top and bottom, that's for high vehicle. What type of vehicle does this sign apply to? High vehicles.
You're traveling behind a moped. What should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? Pull alongside the moped and stay level until just before the junction. Sound your horn as a warning and pull in front of the moped. Stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. Overtake the moped before the junction.
You're traveling behind a moped. What should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? Moped, motorbike. Choose to stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. Stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. Okay, so why are you getting this wrong? This is very easy one. Look, so if you are behind the moped, you see, so that moped mean motorcycle. So if you're behind a moped or cyclist, so for example, this is your vehicle and this is the junction on the left. What will you do? Will you let him pass the junction and then you turn left, or you just overtake him and turn left? Which one is better? Number one or number two? You allow the cyclist or moped rider or a motorcyclist, yeah, will let him go past the junction and then you turn left. So stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. It could be moped, it could be cyclist, it could be motorcyclist, anything, whatever they mentioned, the answer would be same. Okay, so if the question comes, you're traveling behind a cyclist, what should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? The answer would be same. So stay behind the cyclist, stay behind until the cyclist has passed the junction. So whatever they put in the question, the answer would be same thing, whether that's a moped, whether that's a cyclist, or whether that's a motorcyclist. The answer would be same thing. You allow them to pass the junction.
You're stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you'll be waiting there for some time? Apply the steering lock. Use your headlights. Switch off the engine. Switch off the radio.
You stopped at the side of the road. What must you do if you will be waiting there for some time? Switch off the engine. Switch off the engine.
What does this sign mean? Route for trams. Give way to buses. Give way to trams. Route for buses.
What does this sign mean? What does this sign mean? Buono, that's not. Give way to trams, that would have been hazard sign, okay? Give way to trams, that's hazard sign. If this was a hazard sign, triangle, then the answer would have been give way to trams, but this is not. If this was a triangle, triangle, then the answer would have been give way to trams, but this is not triangle. It means route for them, so it's route for trams. Anything inside this blue sign will be route for them. So if inside this blue sign, if there's a cycle, it means it's a route for cyclists. If it's a motorcyclist, a route for motorcycle. So that's the route for trams. Paraguay, it's two. So blue sign, it could be route for something or it could be order sign. So blue signs are two different things, okay? So one blue signs, they are orders, and second blue sign is route for something. This one is route for something, okay? So there are two types of blue signs. Ones are route for something and ones are order sign, which tells you to do something. So they're two different ones.
You're driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog has cleared? Flash them to warn oncoming traffic that it's foggy. Switch them off as long as visibility remains good. Leave them on if other drivers have their lights on. Drive with them on instead of your headlights.
You're driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog has cleared? If the fog has cleared, you just switch it off. As long as visibility remains good, just switch them off. Switch them off as long as visibility remains good. Guys, could you please everyone just share the live once? Could you please everyone just share the live once? And if anyone of you did not follow me, please do follow, guys. And I'm putting all these videos in my YouTube account. So if you missed the lesson, please watch it in my YouTube account. Okay, I'm uploading this every night, so you can watch it there as well.
What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Signal right when you're approaching the roundabout. Signal left when you're approaching the roundabout. Don't signal at any time.
Thank you, Janan. What should you do? What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? Amira, I got that on my YouTube channel. You can watch it there. It's a whole lesson on that. So signal left before leaving the roundabout. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Or the other answer is signal left just after you pass the exit before the one you are going to take. That's one answer. And the second one is this one. Signal left before leaving the roundabout.
You're driving on the motorway. What should you do if luggage falls from your vehicle? Stop at the next emergency telephone and report the incident. Pull up on the hard shoulder and wave traffic down. Stop on the motorway and switch on hazard warning lights while you pick it up. Walk back up the motorway to pick it up.
You're driving on the motorway. What should you do if luggage falls from your vehicle? You're driving on the motorway. What should you do if luggage falls from your vehicle? Yep, stop at the next emergency telephone and report the incident.
What does this sign mean? No entry for traffic turning left. Turn left for ferry terminal. Turn left for parking area. No through road on the left.
Sangayam Yara Sangayit Haba inshallah. What does this sign mean? That's no entry. So that's a dead end road. So no entry for the traffic turning left. No entry for the traffic turning left.
What color are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? Green. Red. White. Amber.
Between the hard shoulder and the left hand lane. Khan, green is slip road, okay? Green is slip road. On the left, it's red. Guys, if anyone find this studs hard, please, I got a video in my YouTube account. Please watch it once. And it will really help you. Coach, that's the wrong answer. Hard shoulder is in the left hand side and red studs are also in the left hand side. I'll show you the YouTube account in just a second, guys. You can watch the video there and it will really help you.
When must you use dipped headlights during the day? When you're driving along narrow streets. When you're driving in poor visibility. When you're parking. All the time you're driving.
When must you use dipped headlights during the day? When you're driving in poor visibility. When you're driving in poor visibility. And which light do we use when visibility is seriously reduced? Which lights do we use when visibility is seriously reduced? Does anyone know the answer? When visibility is seriously reduced. Yes, well done, Arash. When it's seriously reduced, it's fog lights, okay? Seriously reduced, fog lights. Poor visibility, dipped headlights. Poor visibility, dipped headlights. Seriously, that's fog lights, okay? So if it's poor visibility, it's dipped headlights when seriously reduced, then that will be fog lights. So when must you use dipped headlights during the day? When you're driving in poor visibility.
You're on a motorway. When can you use hazard warning lights? When you're being towed by another vehicle. When you slow down quickly because of danger ahead. When you're using the hard shoulder as a running lane. When a vehicle is following too closely.
You're on a motorway. When can you use hazard warning lights? Yep. So when you slow down quickly because of danger ahead. When you slow down quickly because of danger ahead.